most amount of options of shipping on the backside. So even though you did not choose rate there, that does not mean that you cannot use flat rate. And I'm going to show you today how you use it on the backside, right? It's just going to give you the option to be able to use ground or to use flat rate if that's the best option. Lucky Ducky Deals. I love that name. That's super cute. Can you use the priority flat rate box if you use a ground label for over 5 pounds? No, nope, nope. No, you cannot. Flat rate is flat rate. You cannot use any brown boxes, any kind of flat rate. And if your label says flat rate, it has to be in that flat rate box. Okay. If it is priority, however, just regular priority, not flat rate, it can go in a brown box. Okay. Lily says, so it could be 1 pound and I could use it. Yes, as long as it's 1 pound, because by the time your buyer has paid 1 pound, they have paid $9.21. So yes, you would be able to use a flat rate box. T-Press, my apologies. What do you want me to repeat? I just probably said a few things. Oh, bundle. Can you unbundle a flat rate? So, if that's what you're questioning, it won't necessarily put it in a flat rate. If you choose your pre-show settings correctly, you're going to choose the flat rate on the backside if you're using it. If you're not using it, you won't toggle it on and you use whatever box you're going to use. So it's not necessarily like that, but you can unbundle as long as you've sold multiple items that Whatnot has bundled together. You can unbundle those. Yeah, so that's why I always tell you guys these pre-show settings. And again, it's not flat rate, but you'll still be able to use flat rate because, again, if I want to come buy one mascara, I don't want to pay $9.21. And if I only have a few minutes to shop, I'm just going to leave. Okay? Or I'm going to go to somebody's bin and buy it from somebody else. So just a thought. You guys want to be able to really grasp and get as many sales as possible. You don't want to discourage people and push them out, right? Really what you want them to do is build up to that $9.21, especially if you're selling jewelry, beauty care, and stuff, and they're smaller. Because once they hit that $9.21, Whatnot's going to bundle a ton for them for free, right? So you want to get them in there, and you really want them to shop because once they hit that free shipping, they want to keep buying. So. Yes, so you're going to learn today, friends. And guys, so yeah, you'll be able to, or if you need to use a different box, you can use a different box. That's right, friends. That's right. So if you weren't here, curated outpost in the beginning, if you weren't here and you missed my quote says, what did it say? My mind just went blank. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great, right? You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start if you ever want to be great. So just a thought. Okay. Kiki Mraz, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Here's the deal, guys, and this was Tuesday's class, but it doesn't have to be 12 by 12 by 12, and that's a huge misconception because that's what we see in our default settings, right? The trick is when you add up 12, 12, and 12, that's 36. It's going off of a square footage, okay? A cubic foot, so to speak. So if when you add up all 3 sides of your box, if that is 36 inches or less, you're still in the safe zone and it won't cost you anymore. So one of the most common box sizes I use when I have to get outside of the flat rate boxes and things like that is a 16 by 12 by 8, okay? 16 by 12 by 8. Now, anybody want to tell me what that adds up to? Anybody want to tell me? 16, 12, and 8. Congratulations, Melinda. 36, guys. Right. Sorry, I'm leaving my cursor where I left off on your guys' question so I can catch up really quick before we move along. So right, it's 36. So again, when you add up all three sides of your box, it just has to be 36 or less. That's it. Okay? So again, 16, 12, and 8, guys, is a really nice size box. I use that common in our toy shows. Common when I have a lot of people that, especially resellers that are in purchasing clothes that I have to bundle. So that's a really nice size box. Okay? Authentic Refines is asking, how do you set the 921? I'm so confused. You don't have to set it, friends. You don't have to set it. Weigh your items. When you add your inventory, Whatnot will add them up for you. Once your buyer has purchased enough in weight to hit the 1 pound, they've paid the $9.21 in shipping. Okay? And in a few, when I go live on my account, you'll see I'm going to show you exactly where to see how much they've paid and how to know how much they paid. And then you can use a flat rate box. Yes, my closet therapy. She is saying, okay, now Whatnot did the bundling for me the way I was explaining, but after it reached, I think 5 or 6 items, it started to bundle over. Yes, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. So once it hit your 5th or 6th item is when it hit the 5 pound mark, and it started charging your buyer again for their next bundle. That's exactly the way it's supposed to do it. $718 Studio is asking, will I be doing another show for pre-show shipping profiles and info settings? Yes. I do these shipping classes, you guys, every 2 weeks. Every other Tuesday, I do pre-show. Every other Thursday, I do post-show. So, like clockwork, same time, 10:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I did have somebody in one of the outside groups ask if I have done any weekend ones. And I haven't. It's been about a month or 2 since I've done a night one. But it's been a long time since I've done a weekend one. So I might also do look at scheduling one within maybe a month or so we can let everybody know and give everybody a good notice. But I'll probably start working on a weekend one for our friends that are working or can't make the weekday one. So 718 Studio is asking, do I weigh every item I run? Technically, no. In the beginning, I did more of that. But as we grow, as we do this more and more, we get more experience. We're more familiar with weights, right? We can almost guesstimate by holding something. So I don't anymore, but in the beginning, I did more of that. No, my closet therapy, it's only free up until the 5 pounds. So like when my show, they wind up getting to the 921 after the second item. So the next 3 items that they receive are actually free. And then it hits the 5 pounds, and then yes, it starts bundling again. Yes, I'm going to work on that, guys. Again, that was just earlier today when I came across that comment, and I thought, I probably do need to do something like that. So I will be working on that for you guys. This weekend and next weekend, or no-go definitely. But like I said, I'll probably make it about 5 or 6 weeks out just to give enough time to notify. And, oh, was it? Okay, perfect, Toy Bundles. That's what I said. I knew somebody had mentioned it. And when you guys speak, I listen, I promise. I don't ignore your guys' thoughts. So, again, just in the planning works, right? Figuring out what we can and want to make sure that we do it far enough so that people could bookmark and make sure they're there for it, right? Got to make it as useful as possible. All right, guys, I think we're caught up with questions now. I'm going to run along with these a little bit quicker because you guys are really here for shipping. You don't necessarily want to see everybody else's mistakes that much. Benefit of the doubt over here on the right side, guys. This is a Ground Advantage label. Remember, our friend was asking earlier, how do we know? Ground Advantage is right across. The big G is for Ground Advantage. And right over here says 6 ounces. Okay, this one got sent back. It's on a flat rate envelope. They should have paid $9.21. Also, we know that anything under a pound is going to ship Ground Advantage. This is only 6 ounces here. Okay, however, We often hear people say, oh, you can use the free USPS mailings, right? Use the free USPS packaging, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's correct. And so that's probably what happened here. She's like, my shirt fits perfect in here. I'm just going to throw this label on, and maybe just didn't know. Okay. Not everybody comes from the same place in life, guys. Some people literally have never been to a post office. They go to the grocery store, they buy their little stamps, put it on their bills, and put their bills in the mailbox, and out they go, right? So some people don't know. So guys, anytime you have an issue, my true recommendation is always to reach out to the seller first. I know I would want every single buyer that had an issue to reach out to me. I want to take care of my sellers, right? Now, if you do and they ignore you, or they don't care, or they don't have a good resolution for you, then you go to Whatnot. But my recommendation is just to always reach out to the seller first, okay? Grana Chris says, how do some people say that you're capping shipping at $5? Is there a place to cap shipping? Yes, there is, okay? But no, and again, like my friend that asked earlier, and I had to make such a big deal about it, know that once the shipping caps, as those buyers continue to purchase and create bundles, the remaining of their shipping expense gets kicked over to you. So you pay the remaining of the shipping. So I'm not sure if you're aware of that, okay? For clothes, when we use priority mail is when your total weight of your package is between 1 and 5 pounds. So again, really quick, and it's not a lie, it's a story, but a friend of mine, her first shows, she was selling handbags. They were pre-loved handbags, and a reseller had went in her show, and this is a challenge I'm going to give to you guys as well. Saw her reduced shipping label at the top of her screen, because when you guys max it at $5 or a max of $9.21, you get that purple label. I'm sure if you've been in people's chats, you've probably seen that, the reduced shipping banner or those free purple shipping banners. Okay. So a reseller came in and bought 80 handbags from her. The seller was ecstatic, guys. She's like, I can't believe I had this good of a show. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But when she was done, she didn't make any money, because the buyer paid $9.21 for the first 3 purses for shipping. And the next, again, I can't totally remember the exact number, but between 10 and 13 additional bundles that were created, the seller had to pay for. So all that additional shipping, the seller paid for. So just be careful. I just don't want you to lose out, friend, and that's the only reason why I warn. Yeah, but realize when it starts charging over, so if they've bought a lot and you're selling your clothes for an inexpensive price, right? When it starts charging over, so you sold that shirt for $5 or $3, and it's charging them $5 for shipping for it, now you're in the whole $2. Okay, so realize that too. Just be careful, okay? Just be careful, because guys, Whatnot's not very clear. It says max shipping of, and you can type in your amount, or automatically generated says $9.21, but it doesn't have an asterisk or parentheses that says, be careful, seller, you're going to pay the rest, right? A flat rate box will be $9.21 regardless. If your buyer is paid $9.21, you can use a flat rate box. That's the trick, okay? And when we get to the shipping screen, when we start live shipping, guys, the questions that I go over in my head when I'm shipping, like, hey, let's see how much this buyer paid for shipping. That's one of the very first things I do out the gate, because I'm picking a box, right? I got to pick a box to ship it in. So if my buyer paid $9.21, that's just a flag that says, hey, hello, if you need a flat rate box, you're free to use one if it's the best size, right? So just a thought, guys. Brace Closet, welcome in. Ruin Bloom is asking, is there a button we hit that says bundle? Nope. If you do those pre-show settings like I told you guys, it will automatically bundle up to the 5 pounds, okay? That's Whatnot's deal. They automatically, you don't have to ask them to do so. You actually have to ask them not to do so with setting custom profiles. But that is Whatnot's deal. They will bundle automatically for you. You're very welcome. All right, guys, flip it around, because we need to get used to the shipping stuff. All right, so just another box here on the left. The shipping was supposed to be $29.95. You see how quickly shipping can cost. Buyer paid $16.65. There was a remaining balance of $13.30. So that buyer got a note on the door, said, please come down to the post office, pick up your package, and pay me the additional money. So that's pretty frustrating. Your box was supposed to come conveniently to your door, and now you have to go fish for it and stand in line at the post office and give them some extra money. So congratulations, Solo, on that giveaway. I saw that come out, friend. Congratulations. Really quick, guys, let me move those bundles around to those flash sales. We'll do shipping package number 1 on a flash sale right now if anybody's interested. We're doing shipping package number 1. And again, this is all the mixed poly mailers, box cutters, big, large tape, all the good stuff. Thank you cards, thank you stickers. You guys, all the details are in there, but just so you guys know which one this one is. All right, guys, and that one is running in case anybody was interested in that. I forgot to keep moving those along. All right, guys, so remember, like I said earlier, for those friends that weren't in here, you know, you would be good if the buyer came and left you a bad review to tell you this happened, but many times what they do is they'll take their receipt to Whatnot. Whatnot will refund them the difference that you had to pay. That will happen. Okay, but they're not going to come back and shop from you again most of the time. Or worst case scenario, they're going to go to somebody else's shop and talk about how you don't know how to do shipping, and then others are not going to come to you. Okay, so be careful, guys. Be careful. Again, you just want to have your things on point and make sure you know so you can gain and get and absorb all the buyers you possibly can, right? All the buyers you possibly can. All right, guys, moving along. Again, just don't be these people, guys. Boxes are tore up because they didn't put it in a box. They just threw all their shoe boxes in a poly mailer. If a reseller purchased those and those boxes were in good condition when they purchased, they're probably going to be upset because that just lowered the value of their inventory. This person here, they did use a poly mailer, which was nice. They were probably trying to be cute with some Christmas paper, but now their packaging looks like trash when it arrived to the buyer's door, so just be careful. USPS is actually very abusive with our packaging, guys. They are not nice, so just keep that in the back of your mind, okay? All right, and then for those of you friends that are here from Tuesday, or for my new friends that are here, I did promise on Tuesday that when we're done today, I'm going to go on to USPS.com and show you around to those free packaging material. I will also be setting up my pickup for tomorrow to show you how that works. And when I do that, guys, I put in my my personal information, my address and things like that, which is my return address if anybody buys from me, so I don't really care. But I put in my phone number. And when I do that, guys, I'll hold it right there for a second so you guys could take a quick screenshot. So if it comes time to your shipping and you're like, crap, I don't remember what the heck she said to do here, send me a text, guys. Sometimes it's a quick, just click here and then you remember, okay? Rather than waiting 48 hours for Whatnot to respond. I'm happy to help, okay? So when we get there, as promised, I will do that. I did not forget, guys. But remember, I am human with family, so text me. I do my best to get back to you guys as quick as possible. I promise, I promise. But if I miss somebody or something happens, remember, guys, I'm human. I didn't do it on purpose, I promise. All right, so moving along, free supplies. If you need those free boxes like I talked about, we're going to pop on USPS.com later, and I'll show you around for that. Poly mailers, labels, tapes, scales, box cutters, you name it. Amazon, guys, I recommend. The free shipping on Amazon makes it almost next to impossible to beat. You can go to like and the shipping is going to wind up making it more than the deal you're getting. So also, guys, my recommendation, if you guys are ordering things like this on Amazon and you're considering reselling quite often, if you guys like to save money like I do, I put my stuff on a subscription. So like, for instance, what did I do with them? Oh, I don't think I did. But anyway, so particularly my big box of labels showed up. Yesterday I was running low, so those came automatically in perfect timing. My giveaway envelopes, I have those on an automatic setup. So every 6 weeks or every 4 weeks, those are automatically shipped. I do the same with my tape and all of those things that I need. That way they automatically ship. I don't forget to order them. And because I have them set up on a subscription, I save about 20%. I'm not complaining. Okay. Aren't they, Oregon? I love them, guys. Let me show you what she's talking about. These little box cutters. Okay, so I like these box cutters, you know, the bigger ones. Not even too fancy, but the bigger ones, these ones pull out, right? For me, I'm in the house, so I like to use, I'm not sure yet. I'm still playing, so I found these little ones, but they're retractable. But these ones you can clip and lock them in place, but I don't like to do that. So that's why I'm still trying to figure out if I like them, because I have a kiddo. So I like my stuff to be retractable automatically. I don't want a blade that I'm opening and leaving out that's dangerous. So that's my thought, first of all. But second of all, I don't want to be chasing around my one $10 or $20 box cutter because I bought one. I want to have box cutters, guys, laying all over the place, right? And I only paid $4 for maybe 8 of them or something, you know? And that way, it's not about having a beautiful box cutter. Nobody sees what your box cutter looks like when you're packaging. It's about convenience. Have these laying all over so you can grab one quickly. That's the trick. That's the trick, guys. Yes, those are amazing, Oregon. Thank you for mentioning that, friend. All right, guys, let's flip this around and keep going. All right, so remember, subscriptions save you money on Amazon. If you guys need those brown boxes that you have to get for Ground Advantage, recycle, recycle, recycle. I can't say that enough. Your Amazon boxes, ask family and friends, all of those kinds of things, right? But if you do have to buy boxes, guys, papermart.com is a good place to go to. If you sign up for them, they have quite often, you're very welcome, congratulations, quite often have reduced shipping or free shipping sales. So stock up then. Also, the boxes are a good quality, but they're not too heavy duty where they're costing you a bunch of weight when you're weighing them. So again, I absolutely love their boxes. Last Christmas, I really stocked up. I thought maybe enough to last the whole year. Didn't quite work out, but that's okay. That just means we sold more than I thought. Alrighty, guys, moving along. So before you get started, guys, you're going to want to make sure you have all of these things, okay? You want to make sure that you have all of these things. You don't want to have your show and then go out trying to run around grabbing all of these things, right? You want to have it ready. Remember, once you've had your show, the minute you've either rated out or ended your show, you have 48 business hours to ship your items. So you don't want to spend the first 24 hours running around getting your packaging material and your shipping supplies. Okay? In the beginning, truly, I tell most of you guys, if you're new, even though Fridays and Saturdays are busier days to hold shows, I tell you to hold them on those days because you will get 2 bonus days in shipping because the weekend does not count. So again, when you guys are new and it's taking you a little more time until you get your process set, schedule your shows on those Fridays or Saturdays because your weekend doesn't count. You get some extra free time. Okay? Yes. So Root and Bloom, and I'll go over it again for everybody else when we get there, but you'll want to maybe get some medium flat rate, just the bundles of 10 so you can see your sizes, right? Bundles of 10. Just so you can get your sizing. And then after you get them all delivered and you see which ones are going to work better for you, then go back. Okay? Then go back and order larger quantities. That way you're not abusing the free materials, right? You're not getting a bunch of stuff you don't need. Renee, I see your question says Thursday. What is that about, friend? Today is Thursday, yes. I'm kidding. Do I ship on Monday? Oh, Thursday, yeah, I got you, friend. For free time. Yes, you could do it on Thursday as well. Friday will count. right? You'll have Saturday and Sunday, and they have to be out Monday. So yeah, I gotcha. It took me a minute, guys. Oop. Oop. Sorry, guys. All right, so these are the things you want to have to get going, okay? A scale, again, detachable display, just my recommendation. You don't have to, okay? You don't have to. Labels, box cutters, measuring tapes, etc. Boxes and poly mailers, whatever you have to, depending on the inventory you have, whatever you're mailing your stuff out with, right? And then your thank you cards, thank you stickers, thank you notes, whatever you're going to do to set yourself aside from every other seller, right? Just those things, guys. Those are what you're going to want to have before you actually have that show, so you're ready to ship when you're done. All right, guys, we went into this already, so I won't go into it too much. But again, box size 12, 12, and 12. Big misconception. Just when you add up your height, width, and length of your box, 36 inches or less is your safe zone, okay? Again, 16, 12, and 8 is one of the most common box sizes I use. Obviously, that 16 is bigger than the 12, but when I add up all three sides, or all three dimensions, I'm still at 36 inches, so I'm safe. It does not cost me anything additional, okay? You all want to have a little shipping area set. Doesn't have to be this big. Truly, it's not as big as it looks. This is only a little 4-foot table. I actually wound up downsizing my shipping space, and I wound up using my scale on the top of my freezer at one point, my deep freezer, because the scale fit perfect, and then everything else could go next to it. I know everybody has space limitations or your own, whatever you got. Just make sure you have a little dedicated space for shipping is all I'm saying by this, okay? It just makes it easier for you. Okay? Any questions at this point? Any questions? Okay, so question. It says about Whatnot's quantity and how that may come into play for winter gear, coats, sweaters versus shirts, mittens, etc. Just when you're running them, if you're doing random pulls, just make sure you're running them according to their weights, okay? Because mittens will be small, they'll weigh less. Jackets are heavier, they're bigger, right? So just make sure that, or if you're listing them, make sure you're just putting the weights in. Or again, random pulls, you're running the weight according to what the item is. So. Yes, absolutely. When we get there, Solo, as soon as I'm done actually showing you to package up this order that I'm going to show you guys live, we're going to hop on. I'm going to go on my computer. You guys are going to see me. I'll be pointing out what boxes and show you guys what's flat rate, what's regular priority, and then also showing you guys how to schedule those pickups so USPS can pick up your packages from your home. Okay, as long as it can happen in your area. Those can't happen everywhere. There's some rural areas where they don't actually do pickups, unfortunately, but for most people it can happen. So yeah, that's what we're going to cover when we get there, guys. I promise. And then we're going to go visit somebody's birthday at the end, guys. We're going to go in and we're going to celebrate somebody's birthday. We're going to take our party to their party and celebrate. Maybe we'll do a dollar tip train when we get there for their birthday too. So that's what we're going to do, guys. We've got to have more fun. We got to end with fun too, right? Keep it going. All right, guys. So again, I've said this plenty, but I'm going to say it again. And I'm probably going to say it probably 5 more times before we end today. Okay? The big thing with flat rate, guys, the biggest deal with flat rate, I can't say this enough. In order to use a flat rate box, the deal is your buyer had to pay $9.21. Okay? That's it. That's it. Okay? Once you know they paid $9.21, and I'm going to show you that. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Then you know that if that's the best size and the safest size to mail your item in, then it's absolutely fine. Okay? So, again, flat flat rate boxes, guys, I try to make you understand what they're more for. So particularly, like if you guys see this little llama over here next to my flower on my desk that is stone, it is actually really heavy. Okay, so flat rate boxes are great for jewelry sellers or people that sell stones and things like that are super heavy, and you can fit quite a few of them in the box. Because literally, guys, when I got that box of stones that I had ordered, the box was probably close to 50 pounds. Okay, and I had about 6 different stones like that llama in there. Okay, so that's amazing because I paid $9.21, right, for 50 pounds. So again, that's the big deal. But if you think of people that sell heavy things like stones and things that are smaller, or jewelry where you can put 100 little plastic bags into a flat rate box, right? That's the point. Okay. All right, guys. So you've had your show, right? We've had our show now. Whew. Man, that was stressful. We've been waiting for a long time to go live, right? We've been waiting forever to have that first show. That was stressful, but it wasn't really as bad as I thought. I mean, it was scary in the beginning, but my nerves lessened as the show went along, right? Am I wrong, guys? Okay, so just a thought. So we've had our show and we're done. Well, we know our shipping countdown starts. So the first thing we want to go do, guys, and this kind of happened as you were selling items, right? You were numbering them and maybe bundling them together or whatever you do, however you have your system worked out for your sales as they're happening, okay? But I always recommend you first, just to make sure, depending on what your setup is that when you're done, you go to your shipment screen and you say, okay, let me see what Whatnot's done to me now, okay? And then you go and you look and you make sure that you have everybody's items already separated into the bundles that Whatnot has created for you, because you don't know what they've done until you're done. Mama Jeannie, yeah, you don't want to set it to flat rate in your pre-show, because that's exactly what it'll happen. It'll charge them $9.21 and not build up. So if you do it the way I showed you guys on Tuesday, that way it builds up, right? So they don't pay $9.21 for some little tiny small item in the beginning, and they'll want to keep purchasing. You can toggle flat rate on the backside when you need to use that. I include thank you cards, guys. I do a lot of stuff. I love my buyers. I love all of my buyers and supporters, and so I take care of them. Okay. There's thank you cards in the bundle with envelopes. Why can't you write your buyer a thank you card for showing support, right? You can't put in the rules are a bunch of propaganda. Like, you shouldn't put in a bunch of advertisements. So like, say I advertised an advertising package to all of you guys, and I could put inserts and mailers in everybody's package that I sold to, right? Advertising everybody's shows, right? They don't want propaganda. They don't want a bunch of advertisements shoved to people's packages. But a thank you card, and when somebody gets it, who's going to complain? And if they do, well, karma's going to get them, let me tell you. Karma's going to find them if they complain because you said thank you on a card. Okay? So, and when we get to shipping, I'll show you exactly what I do, guys. But my buyers get little freebies. Okay, I'll show you. I'll tell you exactly what I do. I showed most of you guys on Tuesday. Sorry for getting in your personal zone. I had to reach. So most all my buyers, as long as the weight isn't going over, I'll do these. So let me just show you. And again, you guys can steal my ideas, steal a piece of them, and put something of yours with it. Okay, I get these little organza bags. These little hand creams are like 20 cents because I buy them in a box of like 80, and they're like 2 or 3 inches. They're little, guys. These are little 4x6 bags, okay? Well, I need them to know how to get a hold of me, and I need them to know who they purchase the stuff from outside of my shipping label, in case there's something wrong. What if something got broke along the way? Again, customer service is number one to us in our business. Business card, contact info, in case. Start each day with a grateful heart, little water bottle sticker. I am, very important, cute stickers. Freebie bag, cinched up. I don't tie it. They can reuse the bag, and in the box it goes. Thank you so much. I also write please be kind at the bottom of their packing slips, and I put a little thank you for supporting my small business sticker right on the packing slip. Just a little love. Just a little something to set me aside from every other box that came to their door that day. Okay? Amazon. Amazon. And find the cheapies, because guys, I was paying a little bit more. I want to say like $9 or $10 for a bag of 100. I found a little cheaper quality, and you can tell the quality is a little cheaper, but they're giveaway bags, right? So I want to say I found them for $7. I did find them cheaper. It's funny. I had to reject my daughter's her call, and she always calls when I'm live. She should be in here. She should come and see me. But anyways, I texted her last night and asked her if I could stay the night with her next Wednesday. She lives in Arizona, so when I go see my Whatnot Arizona friends, I can go stay the night with my mini me. Congratulations on winning that Givey. Oh, thank you, friend. Thank you. I know those little notebook and pens, I think they're so cheesy, but they're so cute, right? So, again, guys, it's something little, okay? Now, oh, you're not even far either. I'm going to Glendale and Phoenix. So if you're in that, can get to that location, message me. We'll hang out. I'm going to drive in super early, probably leave maybe 4 a.m. or something so I can get there by like 8, 9 in the morning and hang out for the entire day. But I do want to leave whatever time my daughter gets off work on Wednesday till the evening time to spend time with her. And then I'll drive back in the morning so don't leave wifey with all the kiddos and all the responsibilities for too long. But networking's important. And we're moving to Arizona next year, so we gotta network, make plans, meet friends, right? And see my daughter. I'll have any excuse for that. Any excuse for that. Alrighty, guys, so this is what I do. Now, if I'm having a clothes show and I have a reseller in there and they came in and they ordered up, or it doesn't even have to be a reseller, really, guys. And they ordered up a bunch of pieces of clothing. If they ordered one particular size, I might take note of the size and throw them in an extra t-shirt, right? And they'll get this. Of course, they're going to get this too, right? But I got to give a little extra love, a little extra thanks. Now, or what I might do, if they bought extra stuff, instead of getting this little giveaway, okay, I might do something like this. So, let me show you. And again, Amazon, guys, super cheap. We can't do these pretty much for the 74-cent shipping because these are face masks. These are actually good face masks, guys. This one is a green tea one. It's a nice one. But the packages with the air and stuff sometimes is like right at 1/4 of an inch thick. So when they go through those machines, they pop. So sometimes doing face masks for the giveaways and the flat envelopes isn't always a good idea. Just a recommendation. Okay. So what I'll do, if they've bought an extra instead of this little one, I'll do kind of the same thing, but in here. So they're going to get a face mask, a little self-care pack, so to speak. So they're going to get a face mask. They're going to get a hand cream. They're going to get a bookmark. Remember, the message is for them. The bookmark is to send to one of their buyers. Please bookmark my future shows. Love, Solo, 34978. Right. Just saying. Just an example, guys. And then I'm also going to throw in a couple little stickers like I did. And then a thing that I've been doing recently, guys, and this is just me, I like to do the awareness month, mental health awareness month. Next month is domestic violence awareness. So in a lot of my givvies leading up to October and until my inventory is gone are domestic violence awareness keychains that will also go in their little goodie bags. Okay? And I got these from a Whatnot seller. So freaking cheap, guys. Like next to nothing, right? Organza. These ones, Organza. 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 And all different sizes. They even have little mini ones. even little mini ones. Guys, I did, I don't think I can get to it, but let me see. I did this as another idea in case anybody, oh, I can get to it. So, I did these, guys. Wow, I can't believe how strong they still smell. So when I was selling clothes in the beginning, we sell clothes that come from pallets. So sometimes things have like a dusty smell or like the warehousey smells. And I'm bad. Like smells get to me. So I realized when others complain about smells. So what I was like in my beginning of my whatnot journey, and I'm just sharing for anybody that wants to do it or anybody that wants to use it for themselves at home. But what I did is talking about those organza bags, and I guess maybe I need to find something to do with them because they're sitting here being wasted. But I have these little teeny tiny ones, right? These are much smaller than these, okay? But my thought was, and what I did, is I got a really light scent, a very light scent with the citrus of the detergent beads, the dryer beads. And what I did is I made little linen sashes for drawer scents. So, and still, this was made probably close to a year ago, guys, and they smell so strong and so fresh. And so, again, I thought about it afterwards. I didn't want to put things that smelled in people's clothes because this scent could be really strong for somebody else. So then I went against the idea. But again, something if you guys like, you're welcome to use. But even for yourself at home, also, what I started doing just to use them up because I had a huge bag full, the bottom of trash cans. And then put your trash bag in so it smells good. So just some more ideas, guys. Just some more thoughts. Again, I'm happy to share all my ideas. You guys can steal away if you want. Whatever. All right, guys, let's flip this back around because you're really here to ship. All right. All these giveaways. All right, so we went to the Sellers Hub. All right, we're going to separate orders, and then we're going to the Sellers Hub, and we're going to select the show we're going to ship, right? Mom's got the good C, and that's exactly why I kind of went against sending them to people because, you know, I don't want any kind of reactions, but yeah, trash. So yeah, and also, again, some scent that we might think smells wonderful might make somebody else completely nauseous. I mean, that happens to me. Like, I'm super, especially after I had my last little one, there are smells that I can't stand. They will make me sick to my stomach quick. So I just think of others that way too. So, all right, guys, I'm going to quickly scan through these next several slides. They are pictures of what the screen's going to look like as you're shipping, okay? Don't panic because we're going to go to the real life screen after that on my Whatnot account, and we're going to go much slower then, okay? So don't panic. But I like you guys to see it twice because sometimes by the second time when we're watching it, it kind of sinks in a little bit more, right? So again, we're going to go through those slides quickly, and then we'll pop onto the live side of it. And I'll be showing you every detail right down to even taping the box and putting the label on the box, okay? And then we'll hop over to that USPS website. Secondhand, congratulations. Congratulations. Let me move these shipping bundles around. I'll do the number 2 now that includes the scale. This one has your basic pack, but also includes your detachable face scale if you guys need. You know what I think I might do next time for you guys, just to make it easier on all of us, is I think what I might do is when I start the shipping class, guys, is go in and throw everything on a flash sale for the 2 hours. I think I might do that. I usually don't run the shipping packages as long because I have them barely to make the fees and then a little bit of money for my time to package them, but not much because we needed to keep them inexpensive or it's not a deal for you, right? So, alrighty, guys, let's flip this around so we can get moving along. Alrighty, guys, so on your desktop or laptop, you're going to go to your Whatnot Sellers Hub. On the left side of your screen, or if you go into the seller's hub, you're going to click on your shipments, okay? From there, you're going to select the show that you plan on shipping. And it looks like this, okay? So again, your seller hub looks like this. You click on the side, and right here, there's a little drop down, and you can either select your marketplace or whatever show that you plan on shipping, okay? Also, guys, I truly recommend my true recommendation is if you can't ship a show, like you should ship your show before you hold another show. That's just good business practice. But if you have to have items back from one show to the next before you can get it shipped out, never combine your items. Because if there's a mess up in one show and you've combined 2 shows inventory, now you have double the items to try to figure out, right? So make sure you keep each inventory, each sold product in different areas from each show, at least until you can get that shipping done. But rule of thumb should be to have a show, ship a show, have a show, ship a show, okay? Or have a show and have a shipping team shipping it while you're having it, if we're there, right? All right, so, whoop, my bad, guys, sorry. Okay, so note, guys, the order when you get to your shipping screen, the first order you see on your list is going to be the last item you sold in your show. So the first item you sold in your show will be the order at the very bottom of your list. So that means, guys, if you're selling an item, labeling the item, putting it away, selling an item, labeling the item, putting it in a tote, right? Those are piling up. At the end, when you're done, say item number 40 is on top, that's actually going to be your top item on your list. So it's helpful, right? Then you work backwards if you want to, okay? Some people's heads work differently. Some OCD people can't work backwards number-wise. They'll need to dump that tote and find their number 1, and that's okay too. That's okay too. All right, guys. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to click the arrow underneath their name to expand their bundle, okay? And that's going to look like this. So this particular person gifted the chat. They won a couple giveaways, and they purchased a shipping bundle, okay? It bundled everything together. There was an arrow right here that I clicked, expanded all of their items that I can see, and again, remember, Whatnot bundled all of that together for me. I didn't really have to do anything to make that happen, okay? Once you expand it, you're going to see all of your items, okay? You see all of your people. Sorry, guys, this slide was out of order. This is actually the expand button. It was supposed to be before the last slide. My apologies. So when you click that expand, it will then drop down, and then it will say, you know, you can shrink it back. If we put them in, Oregon's asking if we put them in alphabetical order is what I'm assuming, then all the orders from one buyer will be together in order, correct? If you filter it that way, yes. They'll be in a row. Each bundle will. But that's why truly too, guys, I recommend for you in the beginning to kind of separate all of your orders and have them together, because when we get there, I'm going to kind of explain. There's some ways that you can maneuver if you have a buyer that buys a lot of items and say one box is going to cost you an adjustment, but they have multiple bundles. Sometimes you can maneuver things around in boxes, okay? I'm going to teach you CYA. Most of you guys know what that means, right? But you can maneuver stuff around in the boxes without necessarily having to unbundle and rebundle each one. Just take a quick picture. So when your buyer receives their box and they're like, hey, this was supposed to be in here, but I received this, you can tell them, my apologies, but in order to ship your stuff safely and to get it there without costing more in shipping, that particular item is going to be coming in this box, and send them a picture of it. They're not going to question you anymore. I've had that exact same thing happen. And because I had my picture, CYA, sent it to him. Oh, thank you so much. I completely understand. No problem. I know it'll be here. I know you didn't forget it. My closet therapy. I'm so sorry, friends. I'm so sorry. We haven't done the live yet. So again, just slideshows so far. I'll probably have maybe 5 more slideshows, and then we're going to hop into the real live nitty gritty. All right, guys. So remember I said, if your buyer paid $9.21, you can use flat rate, right? You can use flat rate. And how I know that is when I expand my bundle, there's all these columns. Here's your orders, there's your quantities, there's the price of what they paid, there's the weight, and guess what, guys? Right here is shipping. So in this particular order, I see there was $5.09, 0, 0, and 0. So they purchased $5.09, got 3 other items for free. Oh, they only paid $5.09. Well, I better not put that in a flat rate box or it'll cost me an adjustment, right? I better not, because they had to pay how much? How much did they have to pay, guys, to use a flat rate? Anybody remember? Thank you. I was about to have to turn this class off because I'm not teaching you anything. Right, exactly, $9.21. So I know that I cannot use a flat rate box. And I can if I absolutely had to, but it's going to cost me an adjustment. And we only get 5 of those a week. They do renew every Sunday. And it's a use them or lose them type thing. So if you're using your adjustments regularly, make sure Saturday night, early Sunday morning, you get all the shipping you have done, so you can use up all those adjustments. Because Sunday evening, for me, it's right around 5 o'clock. Everybody, it's a little different, 5, 6, 7, based off your time zone. You're going to get your 5 new adjustments. If you had 3 left, you're not going to have 8. You're only going to have 5 again. Okay? So make sure, again, Saturday night, Sunday morning, you use up and sit there and get all your shipping done as much as you can to utilize all those adjustments if you're needing them. Okay? All right, guys. Also, one more step here. For me, customer service, as you guys have gotten the point with me, customer service is number 1. When it comes to shipping, guys, that's kind of like when you go to McDonald's and they're supposed to have the quality checkpoint, like where the person's supposed to check the bag to make sure your burger's correct or your fries are fresh before it goes out, but they never do. Make sure you do. So your shipping process is your quality control point. A chance for you to look and see if you missed any call outs during the show so you can message your buyer, right? A chance for you to any of that kind of stuff, right? It's your quality control point. Okay? So just beware of that, guys. Okay? So what I do quickly, not all of these would work out, right? But if we're running regular auctions, I would quickly go through and check my video receipts very quickly just to make sure I have the items. Because now's the time. Because once you ship it, you can't fix it. Right? Once you ship it, you can't fix it. Okay? You can't be like a Bob the Builder on the road, right? All right, guys. All righty. So once you've done that, you're ready to go. You're ready to start packaging your stuff at the end of each shipment line. And again, guys, this is going to be from a desktop or a laptop. If you're doing it from an iPad, you're going to have to go in through the website. You cannot do it from the app. Okay? You're going to click on the pencil right here. When you click on the pencil, your side panel is going to open up. It'll all be on the right side, and you'll see what it looks like when we really get there, guys. But you'll have your weights. Remember, I told you guys can toggle on flat rate if you need. Remember. I didn't lie to you. You could still use flat rate if you need. Your dimensions. If you do use flat rate, you're going to choose which flat rate box you're using, and then guess what? Whatnot's going to automatically fill in your dimensions for you. Very nice of them. I'm glad they finally started doing that. Okay. Next, you're going to edit your dimensions, edit your weight, and then you will scroll down and click Save. Okay, first you're going to check if there's any additional cost or it's going to be a label adjustment. You will find that here where the arrow is. Okay, If there's not and you're all good, you click save. Okay. Once you've confirmed, and I'm going to show you guys when we go live a way to double check before you actually click generate your label to make sure maybe you did a typo or something happened, right? So make sure that that box size and weight is correct before you actually generate label. Once you've done that, then you click generate label, you print it, packing slip goes inside the box, you seal up your box, shipping label on the outside, and you're ready to go. Okay, here's your packing slip. Remember I told you I would let you guys see what they look like. So this is, I just blocked out buyer information here, but everything else is, this is an exact screenshot of my packing slip. Okay. Packing slip in the box, shipping label here. Okay. Again, this is a ground label, G for ground. See my arrow pointing? These are some of your checkers when you're done. USPS Ground Advantage. My weight is right here. If I chose flat rate, this G is going to have a P for priority. It's going to say USPS Priority Mail. Remember, flat rate is also priority. There is flat rate priority and regular priority, and I'll show you how to tell the difference here in just a moment. Okay, and if it is flat rate, right here where the weight is, it will say medium flat rate, large flat rate, or whatever size that you chose. Okay, so you can even double check before you print your label out. If something's not looking right, then you have a chance to go back and correct before you print your label out and make that mistake. Alrighty, guys, really, really quick here. Sorry if I'm bending over in the camera, guys. It's just my spot right here. It's bad. Oh, I wasn't. Okay, good. All right, so like promised, so Lily, let me explain. So not always, there are ways. Most of your bigger sellers are doing flat rate boxes, right? So they don't have to necessarily weigh and edit each box because they already know what the dimensions are of those flat rate boxes, which automatically generate for them. And flat rate boxes you don't have to weigh. Okay. Now I'll tell you, there are many people you will hear say, if your box is smaller than a 12 by 12 by 12, don't worry about changing it. You don't have to change it. Okay. If Whatnot didn't want us to edit those fields, they wouldn't have them there, for one. Okay. Also, if when we're editing boxes, and I get you guys are going to say under 12 by 12, if prices didn't change, then it wouldn't matter. Okay. But what happens if you don't change the price or change the size of your box and a box is missing? And you didn't change your default dimensions. Now they're looking for a 12 by 12 by 12. 2 weeks later, bless you, 2 weeks later, you're not going to know that you sent that in a 6 by 8 by 10. Okay. So again, yes. Secondhand asked, if you print the label and take it to the post office and there's an issue, are you able to go back and edit the label and print again after generating? Absolutely. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay. You just go back to your pencil, you re-edit, and you regenerate. Trick, big trick. If you guys have to regenerate a label for some reason, you have to make sure you stick that new label. Okay, you could slice the bottom of the box, say you forgot something happened, and you need to reprint, right? Or you regenerate it. Don't use the old label, whatever you do, because when you regenerate, it regenerates a new tracking number, okay? And if you send the old tracking number and you're under your 1,000 sales, it's going to be tough to get paid. You can still get paid. But it's tough and it's going to take a process. Whatnot's going to email your buyer, confirm they received the package, this whole deal, before they'll release your funds. So be very careful. Just know when you regenerate, you get a new tracking, so you need to stick the new label, okay? I've made that mistake. That's why I'm telling you. All right, guys. All right, guys, we'll bounce back over to the cheat sheets if anybody needs the shipping cheat sheets or just the purchase for the playback. After this one, I'll rerun stickers for those of you guys that are just wanting to make the cheaper purchases for the playbacks. Just if I don't do it in between segments, I'm going to forget. All right, guys, so cheat sheets are back up and running for anybody that may need. All right, guys, really quick. So remember I said I was going to tell you. So remember, and I'm going to show you guys when we go out to USPS later, and I'm showing you guys where to order. But there is a difference. So there is flat rate priority and regular priority. Okay, and how you guys know the difference? Priority, flat rate priority. Priority, flat rate. Looks identical, right? Regular priority says mailing box. Regular priority is just a mailing box. Flat rate priority, flat rate. Okay, and tells you the size. Okay, so you guys know. Also, really quick, remember on the cheat sheets, guys, I was talking about those outer box dimensions. Outer box dimensions, does anybody know? There's ID and OD on your boxes. I had no idea what that meant when I started. None. I Googled it. ID is the inside. So when you open your box, the inside, because your cardboard has thickness to it. So the inside dimensions here on the inside. OD is your outer box dimension. So here on the outside, right? Outside. Those are the dimensions that we're going to be using to put in our shipment script. Okay? So just so you know. But they all do have the USPS boxes, their dimensions on them. Okay? But that's why I just did the cheat sheet, so you don't have to go searching or any of that fun stuff, right? Any of that fun stuff. Solo. So you don't necessarily get 2 printouts. You get your packing slip and you can see your bundles, and I'll kind of, when we walk through it, you might get more of an understanding on how it happens. But that's why it's super important that you guys have your processes down. Either one, you're listing your thing, so when it sells, you know exactly what item that is, right? Or if you're doing random pulls, either your numbering system or your coloring system is on point and you're labeling correctly. And you'll see it at the bottom of your screen. It's not a huge guessing game, okay? But labeling those items as you sell is going to be super important, okay? Oh, I got you. So, sorry. Solo said, with pre-show settings, do printouts bundle them separately? Do you know which items go in which package? And do you get 2 printouts if there's 2 mailers? And that's what I missed. Sorry, friend. So if there's 2 bundles, each bundle is going to have its own list. Drop down just like I showed you on the slides. Each bundle is going to have its own packing slip that goes inside, and each bundle will have its own shipping label that goes on the outside of the box. So you can consider that like even if you wanted to think it as 2 different people, right? Because they're 2 different packages. Unless we need to use it to sneak in some other stuff to make it not so heavy so we don't have to use an adjustment. Olga's asking, so medium flat rate and large flat rate both can hold up to 70 pounds? Yes. Yes, yes, and a small too. That's the whole deal with flat rate. And you could use a small flat rate box here if you can find something that's going to be more than 1 pound that can fit into it, like stones and things, like I said. Otherwise, small flat rate boxes don't really benefit you too much here. So. Christy's fancy stuff, really quick. She asked, how do we set up the giveaway? Okay. The giveaway is like setting up an inventory item, except for you choose your giveaway tab. Now, are you wanting to know how to set up the giveaway, or are you asking for the cheap shipping on the giveaways? Is that what you're asking? Because those are two different things, two different sets of rules. Premier Shop, thank you for the share, friend. And while I got it, okay. So while I'm explaining that really quick, I'm actually shrinking down that slideshow, bringing up my Whatnot account so we can get busy. All right, so are you guys ready? This is one of the cheat sheets, but I'm going to give them to you. Write it down. Step one. Step one. In your pre-show settings, toggle on first class mail letter. Meme Shops, congratulations, Mimi Shops. Toggle on first class mail letter in your pre-show settings. Okay? Second item you have to do, okay, is make sure that when you're adding the giveaways, there's a category, and this is what most people mess up on. They're like, I used your directions and it didn't work. They charged me $4.55. Let me resend them to you. And I tell everybody just this. Most common mistake is you chose the category you were selling in. So if you're selling clothes, you chose women's contemporary or women's vintage, right? You have to choose the sticker category. Okay? So step one, first class mail letter. Step two, data on my closet therapy. You were one of my friends that did that. Okay? But it's common. I did it, guys. Guys, it wasn't like a month ago I messed up and didn't have one of the things set on the shipping, and I had to pay. So it happens, guys. We're human. Okay? So again, step one, first class mail letter in your pre-show settings. Step two, making sure you choose the sticker category. Step three, the last step is when you're adding your giveaway, like you're adding an item when you get to your shipping profile, you have to choose 0 to 1 ounce. Okay? You have to choose 0 to 1 ounce. And those are your steps. Now, there's rules. Your item cannot be any more than 1/4 of an inch thick. Has to be in a regular envelope. Okay? Or the 6x11s, right? The long white ones like I have over here. If you try, like earlier I was saying, people put face masks in them, or they'll try to throw in like a little pair of earrings or something. These are put through machines, so they have to stay flat. Popped, goo all over the envelope, and receive an envelope of trash. I have received a pair of earrings, okay? The backs were flat and smashed. I was actually able to bend them and they didn't break. I was lucky. So be careful. They do have to be flat. So stickers, gift card, things like that, okay? So that's the giveaway shipping. Now, Lily is saying some of the sellers include a list of what I bought and some don't. Is there 2 printouts for this? One for us to keep and one for the buyers. Lily, I'm going to recommend you probably don't want to waste your labels and print a set for you. You can print it twice if you want to keep a set, but it's always going to be in your Whatnot account, right? So when we're about to dive into real life shipping right now, and you'll see when I print, I put my packing slip in my box and my shipping label. If I ever need to go back and look up anything, I have it all in my account. I don't need to print extra labels and waste all the stickers, right? Because that costs you money, right? So it's all in your account saved. Now, here's the thing. Do we send packing slips or do we not? Do we send packing slips or do we not is a big question. How do we know if our buyer wants a packing slip? How do we know? Did you ask every buyer when you were selling to them, hey, do you want a packing slip? Probably not. Never heard anybody do that. Never heard anybody do that, right? Okay. You just give everybody their packing slip. Okay? Just give everybody their packing slip. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of resellers out here purchasing, and they use those packing slips so that they know how much they paid, so they know how much to mark up the item. Also, I have heard that resellers collect those, and they'll sit down and they'll all together at once go and do all their reviews. Well, if you didn't give them a packing slip, you're not getting a review. Okay? There's no way to know who wants them, so just send them, guys. It's just customer service. Lily, I do. Those little giveies that I was showing you earlier, these little ones, these go in the bags. Now, say I'm super close to the weight threshold, and if I put this in there, that 1 ounce throws it into an adjustment. I probably don't want to use an adjustment on a givey. What I might do is throw in a couple extra stickers or something and then remove the little hand cream that's weighing. But most of the time it doesn't cause any issues. These little giveies go right in my bundles. It doesn't cost anything else. Like I said, if they order a lot and I can throw in an extra shirt and the little bag too, I will. So again, just to set yourself aside from everybody else, right? See, you guys, and you guys don't know who wants them and who don't, right? So everybody's like, I love when I get them. Oregon says, yes, always send them. Right. And they print, guys. They automatically come out with your labels, your shipping labels. You don't have to do anything extra to get them. But remember, I'm going to take you back to that quote. Be a man of value rather than a man of success. Those big sellers that are nickel and diming everything are many of the ones that aren't sending the shipping labels or the packing slips because it saves them a few pennies. Send your labels, guys. Send your packing slips. It's not worth it. Lacey, welcome in. See? Grana Chris, exactly. I mean, you guys all use them for your own purposes, and it doesn't matter what the purpose is. It's part of being a customer. You should get that. Now, be kind and realize that some of us are just humans. We're not all robots, right? We're just humans, and we forget, right? So I've before had a box gone and it's already taped up and the packing slip didn't go. And I'm going to show you guys when we're packing here in just a moment some tips and tricks, like, because in the beginning, guys, you're going to tape that box and you're not going to put that packing slip in there. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and ways to get around it so you're not slicing through your labels and having to reprint and do things like that. Exactly, Leather. You go to the grocery store, you get a receipt. You know, you go to JCPenney's, you get a receipt, right? You go to McDonald's, you get a receipt. It's just part of business, guys. Marley, you might think that, but you'll be surprised that people, again, like I said, use those packing slips even to come in and give you reviews, right? So they might not necessarily, or they may see that, oh yeah, the 3 random pulls, I remember those were those items. Oh yeah, I did receive those and those were good. Let me give them their review. So just be mindful, guys. Yes, there is, Solo. So when you're setting up your giveaway, you will get to the part where anybody can enter the giveaway. You can select where they at least have to give you a follow to get your giveaway, which I think that's fair for anybody, right? Because you could literally have giveaways for not even followers. But I feel like they should at least have to follow you if they're getting something for free from you, right? I feel like that. Okay? Or yes, there's buyers giveaways as well. Just remember, no matter what giveaway you choose, you're paying the shipping for. It's truly a giveaway, even if it's a buyer's giveaway. It will combine, but you will still pay shipping. Okay? Also, guys, if you're planning on doing buyer's giveaways, make sure you set them up before you go live. You have to have them set up prior to going live. Otherwise, you won't be able to set up the buyer's giveaway, only a followers, okay? Because people might have already started buying and things, so that does have to be created before you go live. A Cardenas Party of 5, you absolutely can print them on an 8.5 by 11 versus the labels if you're doing it to save money. But be mindful, guys. If you're printing it on an 8.5 by 11, chances are you're using a regular printer. And that ink is going to cost you more than the money you're saving in not using the label, if that makes sense. So just be mindful of that. And Ms. Kenna, absolutely. I'm the same. And a lot of us, unfortunately, whether we want to admit it or not, are the same, right? Like at one point last year, I was like, my goal is to sell and ship out more boxes than I receive in a day. Ken Lady Rescue, welcome in, friend. How are you today? Happy Thursday. Premier Shop, and you don't even have to really do all of that. Like in my beginning of my time, I printed my label, I cut it out, I slapped it on my box with some tape, and I folded the paper inside and did it. But again, you're using a lot of paper, a lot of ink. So ultimately, you guys, you will want to move to those thermal printers. The point is they're making your labels with heat. It doesn't cost any ink. Ink and paper and all that stuff with printing can quickly eat you out of your profits if you don't pay attention. So. Alrighty, guys, let's turn this around. Looky, cookies. We're on my whatnot screen. Yes, Marley, you're absolutely right, friend. They sure do. Alrighty, guys, so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go back here to buying so you guys can see from the whole beginning process, okay? Okay, so this is, you go on your screen. These are all the shows playing right now. What I do is I go over here where your logo pops up. Sorry, it's running really slow today, guys. Need to close my other tabs just to speed things up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go right here to shows. I'm sorry, my apologies, shipments. Okay, shipments, the other S. Okay, so shipments, I'm going to click on that. Marley, you're more than welcome to message me too, friend. Also, just a quick reminder, when we hop onto that USPS website, when I'm setting up that pickup, I will be typing in my phone number, which I will allow you guys to screenshot. So even if you can message me on here, but I had a friend, Samantha, who messaged me and I haven't got her message yet. So if you also want to text me afterwards, you're more than welcome to as well. Alrighty, guys, so this is what your shipment screen looks like, okay? So this is today's class, right? This is what we have going for today. But I'm going to this show here. This is actually a show that I did with a friend. I just sent her the money. She swiped on some orders for me. And that way we could have some good scenarios. Also, guys, what I did for you guys this time is I wanted you to be able to see what a pickup looks like on your screen if somebody does one for pickup. So if you can see, there is a confirmed pickup as well. So I had her do one of those so that you could see what it looked like. So, alrighty, guys. So this is what our shipment screen looks like. Remember, this top item is the very last item I sold her. This bottom item is the very first set of items I started selling her, okay? So I'm going to I usually start at the bottom, okay? Or a lot of times if I have a lot of orders, What I will do, guys, is I will actually go through and find all of my people that just have one item first, okay, and get all those done. Then I'll move to somebody that just has 2 items, because sometimes those are quicker. And then you're left with those people that have multiple items. So if you're having to bounce things around in boxes and move them around, all your other orders are already done. You're just left with those bigger bundles, okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, remember, we're going to click the little arrow for the drop down, right? And it's going to expand. So these are all dollar items. Again, it was a sample show. We didn't really, I'm going to send her stuff, but this was more for class than for really sales. Okay, so these would be normally all different prices, wouldn't always be just $1, right? So the first item, remember guys, I told you, I know in my shows by the second item that they have paid the $9.21, right? By the second item, I know they've paid that. All right. So it tells me here the first item. Remember, I said they pay 7 and some change, so $7.73 they paid. And for the second item, they paid $1.48. Can anybody tell me what $7.73 and $1.48 equals? Anybody want to tell me? $7.73 and $1.48, exactly. $9.21. Remember, guys, I said one of the first things I do when I look at my order is I want to know how much they paid, because I know they paid $9.21, and why, if I need to throw it in a flat rate box, I'm good too. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing with that, guys. Okay? Next, over here, it tells you your shipment is expected to ship via USPS priority mail, because Whatnot knows with these weights that it's between 1 and 5 pounds. So it's expected to ship it that. But if one of these items weighed over 15 ounces and weighed 25 ounces on mistake, it's going to go over 80 ounces, which is over the 5 pounds, and it's going to switch back to Ground Advantage. And what matters is what box you're using, okay? So, now, let's do this. Hold on one quick second, guys. So, because I know I can use a large flat rate box, and I know that those pieces of clothing will fit in there, that's what I'm going to use. And because I want to show you guys how to use flat rate, right? So we got to make it all the things in one package. So I'm going to fold my box. And again, this is just how I do it. You guys can do it however you would like. I've had people ask me. That's why I show you guys. So one strip down the middle to seal it. I overlap the top and the bottom, each with a strip. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. This isn't my usual angle for packaging, so it makes it a little awkward. Usually I'm standing up and this is sitting on my desk. So, all right. So I taped it down the middle. I overlapped that middle and overlapped here, so 3 strips, okay? Now, remember, we don't know what the weather conditions are like everywhere else that we don't live, right? I'm in SoCal. We usually have sunshine even through winter. So I don't always take into consideration all of the other people's weather conditions, right? Or if you're anything like my house, I have a broken sprinkler right now, and it shoots straight up onto my porch. So if I had a package there in the morning, it would be soaked, okay? We're in Riverside County. Riverside County, to be specific. Alrighty. So, Again, we know she purchased 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, right? Oh, not far at all. We go there for our mechanic for the car dealer when we get our services and things. We go to San Diego, Escondido. So, I gotcha. No, right here. Oh, and not to mention the season passes to SeaWorld. So, we're there quite often. All right, guys. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and her 5th item can fit in the box, right? So I can ship all of this nicely in a large flat rate box. Now, let me tell you guys. Let me show you this. Remember I said, sometimes it's about customer service, guys, at the end of the day. So because she bought all these and they were outfits, let's see what the total weight was. Ooh, guys, look it. This is going to be a good teaching package. I love when this works out. So when I throw the box on the scale, right, the weight is 90.9 ounces. Basically almost 91 ounces, which is more than 80. So this technically should go ground advantage because it's over 5 pounds, right? Technically should go ground advantage because it's over 5 pounds. But, and remember, ground advantage takes 5 days to get there, right? So I could put it all in a brown box and send it off, and it would get there in 5 days. Because I can get it all in a flat rate box. Remember, the flat rates hold up to what? How many pounds do the flat rates hold? Anybody remember? Right on the mark. 70 pounds, guys. So I'm good to use a flat rate box. My buyer paid $9.21. It's not over 70 pounds. And guess what? My buyer is now going to get their package in 3 days versus 5. I figured our fingers get the best of us sometimes. All right. Right, Oregon? Right, Oregon? Are you still in here? Me and Oregon are fat finger friends. It's okay. Our typing gets messed up sometimes. All right. So, all of our items are in here, and we're good, right? So let's change this around, guys. I want to show you this. Now, so all of our items are in there. What I could quickly do is come over here, edit. Remember, I'm going to click my pencil. I could toggle on, right? Remember, I could choose flat rate. Remember, we did it in the beginning, but I promised you guys we could use it on the backside if we need. All we do is turn it, click on, right? Maybe. Click on. Hello. Listen. Sorry. All right. And then this pops up, right? All we're doing is clicking the drop down and picking what box we used. Okay. Is it a medium top loading? Some of you guys have seen those medium side loadings, right? They look like they hold books and they have the little self-sealed sides. And here's the large flat rate. So you just pick what you're using. So I'm going to use the large flat rate. That's what I did. The dimensions automatically generate for us now. Thank you, Whatnot, for doing that. I know, it's been bad. It was already bad this morning, Oregon, before class started when I was working on shipping. It was bad. All right. And then, again, because we're using flat rate, you don't have to put a weight. You don't even have to weigh it. We would come down here and click save. Okay. And then, guys, when you generate, I recommend always generating from the line you're working on. So when you click save, a generate will pop up over here, but sometimes it's been known to be on the wrong person's. So I recommend, and this is where the double check would come in, okay? So you want to look, okay, I got that, my 5 items. Now, because it's flat rate, the weight's not going to change, right? So we don't have to worry about that. But if it was ground and you put a weight in there, you want to check. Yep, I put the right weight. Yep, I changed my dimensions and those are correct. Okay, now I'm going to, boom, generate my label over here. So you know you're generating your correct label, okay? Yep, and that's why I tell you guys, use those pre-show settings I gave you. You're not waiving your right to use that flat rate. What you're doing is giving your buyer the best rate. Remember, if they want to come in and just buy one little tiny thing, they're not charged $9.21. But you still have the most amount of options of shipping on that backside, right? You're not waiving your right to any of that. Yep. And guys, you will find, right, like this particular instance, if that buyer, say that was the only thing she bought, that one bundle was all she bought, right? It would have costed me an adjustment. I would have put it in a brown box, right? And it would have costed me an adjustment. But because of this wonderful flat rate option, I was able to put it in a flat rate. Bingo, one box. Bingo, free box. Bingo, 3 days, not 5. Win, 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 right? Win, win, win. So, just a thought, guys. Just a thought. All right, guys, so I'm going to switch this back because I didn't actually edit it because I want to show you this. Remember, I promised to show you bundling and unbundling. Leather says, if we flip it to flat rate later, I think I put reduced, but not even sure how. If you're talking about reduced shipping, okay, that's in your pre-show settings. That's not done in your shipping. When you, like after your show, that's on the pre-show settings. So maybe that was the mistake you did it earlier when you set up your show. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So again, I promised bundling. We're gonna bundle. And guys, I knew 5, and the next one would start my next bundle. So she purchased a 6th item for you guys so we can show you bundle. Okay. So do you see these little boxes here? Just to the left of the buyer's name. If I want to bundle, I would click that. And then go click the next order that I want it to bundle with and click that. And then you'll see over here on the right-hand side of your screen, this pops up and it says, bundle selected shipments, and has a 2 in parentheses. Macy, you're too funny, friend. But guys, you know what? I don't know if you're anything like me. I'm a multitasker. So, and it's not because I'm busy and I need to get things done. It's the way my brain works. So even when I'm working on shipping and I could have hours of shipping, I'm doing something on the other side. Like on my phone, I'm also going through shows or advertising into groups and doing things, right? So like Lacey probably working away and listening. It's sometimes the way our brains work, guys. All right. So if I wanted to bundle them, I would click this. It will put them both in one shipment together, combine, and you would have a number 6 here, and I would be printing one label, okay? And we're going to do it that way. It's me, Oregon. I'll be doing postings. I'll get up every once in a while. I'll take some pictures of some inventory. I'll be working on shipping while I'm listening to a school lecture in the background. While I'm paying our house bills or our business bills, like all of the things. And my wife, it drives her nuts too. So I feel it. I know what you're talking about. She's like, what are you doing? I thought you were doing this. I said, I am doing that. And I'm doing this and this and this. All right. Olga's question says, I had someone say you have control with flat rate priority. If you choose ground, Whatnot automatically charges you based on what the person bought. You want that? Yes. So you want them charged basically off of the items that they're purchasing and the weights, right? Not off of a flat rate amount. So again, if I go into somebody's show, right? If I go into somebody's show and say, I don't know, I bought a t-shirt, right? Just say I bought a t-shirt. Well, that t-shirt's only going to be like 7 ounces. I shouldn't have to pay $9.21, right? I just want to pay the $4.55 or maybe $5. And if I see other things I like, I would like to purchase and then have it build up to that $9.21, and then maybe I can get a few free items, right? But I don't want to be charged $9.21 for the first one because, one, I don't know if you're going to have other things I like, or two, I don't even have the time to stay on and shop with you. So just some things. So you might actually risk losing buyers that would buy just an individual item if you have it set at that $9.21 as a thought. Olga said you want that control using flat. Basically, just what I'm saying, Olga, is when you don't choose flat rate on your pre-show settings, you're not required to use flat rate, but you still can, right? It's still open to you as long as your buyer paid that $9.21. Okay? But your buyer doesn't have to pay $9.21. They'll be able to pay less if they're just buying one little item. So how it works, guys, anything under a pound. If my buyer bought one thing, so like particularly this item, the first item, that is a pickup, right? It was under a pound, okay? So because that's under a pound, I would have to ship that as ground because I already know anything under a pound. I can't even change that in any shipping settings. That's the way it is with Whatnot. But that makes sense, right, guys? So, sorry, all up in your personal zone. If I want to send a little givey, a little thingy, right? I want it to be cheap. It's going to be ground. It's going to go take a little longer. It's okay. It's a little cheapy thing. That's the cheapest shipping for under a pound. Now, Whatnot went in and said, but between 1 and 5 pounds, USPS, I want my people to get some good deals. Okay? Because commonly, 1 to 5 pounds is generally what people purchase. So between 1 and 5 pounds, instead of having to ship it ground, they're getting a great deal and they're getting priority service, which gets it to them in 3 days. Okay? Now, USPS says, okay, Whatnot, we're going to give you an even better contract, and your buyers will only have to pay $9.21 for any flat rate package. And again, if you guys weren't in here earlier, I said if I was to go to the post office and send my brother-in-law a Christmas gift in Oklahoma, it's going to charge me about $28 to use a large flat rate box for me to ship something myself. So if you can see the value and what Whatnot has provided for our buyers. So again, like I said earlier, Whatnot provides that amazing contract so they get great shipping rates. You're here as a seller to provide great products with great pricing, and it's a win-win, right? And then, guys, obviously, when we get super heavy and we get over that 5 pounds, we're back to ground again because it's cheaper. Those bigger boxes, they're going to go by ground, and it's going to be a little cheaper for your buyers. Toy bundles, I appreciate that tip. That was very generous. I appreciate you. Okay, so over 5 pounds, right? Over 5 pounds is going to be based on what they paid per individual item, okay? But if you didn't weigh your items correct and it winds up at 15 pounds, and it's not generally based off those amount of items that were bundled, so to speak, right? say I only put 3 items and it's 45 ounces, but I messed up and when I weigh it, it's 105, right? Then it's going to go back to that ground advantage. Sometimes I feel like the reason why people use flat rate in their pre-show settings is because they just don't know. Because truthfully, I haven't found a reason to do it. Even guys, when I do, like you can see here, all these boxes, they're all the way to the ground and all the way down the wall lined up, okay? It's all for my case pack show back here. Do you know that I know that I'm using flat rate, right? I know that. Every one of those are a flat rate box, but do you know I still do not choose flat rate in my pre-show settings? I still don't. I set up a custom flat rate box profile, and every Skincare Solutions, welcome in, friend, and thank you for that purchase. I appreciate you. And thank you for hanging out with us today. So I have a custom profile, and literally every box gets a label. The dimensions are already in there. All I have to do is toggle on large flat rate, save, and print. Okay? But I still do not choose flat rate in the pre-show settings. I know, crazy, guys, crazy. So Solo is asking, do we have to go in and edit to bundle ship if you have a preload show with weighted items? So, Solo, not sure exactly, but I'll answer this in 2 different ways to make sure I cover your question. When you're live, whether you're running stuff from your Buy It Now or you're running auctions, that will all bundle together. If you don't have something in your Buy It Now when they go out of your show and into your marketplace and buy something, that will not bundle with it. Okay? But any auction items and any Buy It Now items that are within that show will bundle together. Okay? But you will, and this is the second side because I'm not sure what the question is exactly. It says, do you have to edit the bundles? And you do. Like, for instance, if I'm doing a case pack show, I need to just edit that it's in a large flat rate and then click save and print and I'm good to go, right? Not a lot of steps. Okay? But you guys do have to weigh on the back side, even if you're not talking about a flat rate box, because remember on the front side when we weighed, we didn't include packaging. We didn't include poly mailers, we didn't include boxes, we didn't include packing and all of that stuff. So there is that final weight, right? But if you're putting it in a flat rate box and you're using the flat rate, no need to weigh. You don't have to have a weight. Wheeler Dealer Dan, welcome in. How are you? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Yep. Yep. So as they pay and as they continue to buy stuff, Leatherwood, it will bundle once they hit the 921. Depending on the weight, they may even get a few items for free. And then it'll start bundling again. Okay, so I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Let me show you guys quickly how to unbundle. Then we're actually really going to bundle those shipments. And I'm going to toggle on flat rate. And I'm going to show you. And you're going to see the label print and see it on there. Okay? I promise. That's what you guys are here for. Okay. Really quick, though. Really quick. Because I was showing you bundling, right? I'm going to click these. I don't want to bundle yet because I want to quickly show you how to unbundle. I'm not actually going to unbundle. I'm going to show you how, and then I'm actually going to bundle those two, and we'll package that box up, okay? So if I click this drop down, sorry, I'm lying. If I click my pencil, okay, this is my first one, the bundle of 5, right? There's 5 items here, okay? When I click my pencil, okay, and this is why when I get my little mini iPad for these classes at the end of the month, it's going to be so much better, a little bit easier when we're doing the live portion of this and our other things that we do, like our show setups and inventory entry account weight. All right, guys, so sorry guys. This is the shipment screen. I'm going to click the X off. Depending on what motivational pack you're talking about, I have a small one if you're talking about the gifting the chat. The small one comes with stickers, a bookmark. It comes with, I don't have one right here, but it's a little canvas motivational bag. And then there's like lots of little goodies. Then the large motivational kit comes with everything that the small one does, but also comes with a motivational coffee mug. So it comes with a coffee mug as well. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to click on this one here. I just clicked on the line, okay? I didn't click the pencil, okay? I just clicked the line. So when I click the line, do you see right here are all the 5 items? Okay? All the 5 items that are in this. Now remember, this is unbundling, guys. So sometimes it feels a little confusing. Picture, we have our box in front of us with all 5 items, right? This is our box with all 5 items. We're unbundling, okay? Yeah, so you will reweigh before you send everything, unless you're doing a flat rate box. But other than that, you will reweigh. Okay? So we're unbundling. So if I click, let me flip this around, unbundle shipment, right? I'm going to click unbundle shipment. And when I do that, remember the little squares that we could click to bundle shipments? Up here now on this, right? Whatever items that we're going to click on to unbundle, say these items don't fit in this box. I'm going to take these out. That means, guys, because sometimes this is, I feel like, super confusing. Everybody clicks what they want to have in the box, right? Remember, my box has 5 items. I'm clicking the 2 items that do not. We're unbundling. These are the 2 items that don't fit in that box, right? We're unbundling. So you have your box, and the items that go into a different bundle are the ones you're clicking. When you click up, then you would bundle. Whoop, switch back around, guys. Sorry. My apologies. Then you would click here, unbundle selected items. And then what would happen is my 3 items that I left in this box would be right here in this shipment for me. And then at the top of all my other orders, above here, are you leaving? Oh, you're cute. You're cute. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There's my cuteness leaving. Let's say bye-bye. Wait, bye-bye. Wait, bye-bye with your strawberry boots. No. Okay. Goodbye, attitude. Congratulations, Oregon. Go get bros. Okay. So again, guys, now we kept the items. Now, the items that we pulled out of the box will have a new line all the way at the top by themselves. Okay? So the 3 will stay in the bottom. It'll have a new line for a new box on top that you can ship if you're unbundled. Okay? Now, when you unbundle, does anybody know what that causes? Can anybody tell me what happens when you unbundle? Just curious where our knowledge is in here. Nobody? So when we unbundle, guys, you're getting there. You guys are getting it. With 2 labels. Right on point, Olga. Very good, friend. Right? Because that second box is going to need a shipping label. And your buyer didn't pay for a shipping label. Okay? So this is where Whatnot is super nice. Whatnot says, hey, accidents happen. Don't worry about it. I'm giving you 5 adjustments a week. So when you unbundle, it's going to take one of your adjustments away. So instead of having 5 or 3, whatever you have, you'll have 1 less, right? And it's not charging you anything for the shipping label. It's not charging your buyer for the shipping label. Whatnot is paying for your shipping label. Yes. Yes. And guys, I cannot express this enough. I see this literally, and I wish this was an over exaggeration, but probably a good 50 times a week of people concerned that, but I need to change the box size, but it's going to use one of my adjustments. No, adjustments are only for moments that are costing more money. Remember, edit every shipment. Adjustments are like, I need to spend an extra label. This box is actually going to cost my buyer more than they were charged for. That's okay. Whatnot has my back, right? That's what those are. Every shipment gets edited. Adjustments are for moments because we're humans and we make mistakes. KTS liquidations, we should probably talk later, friend. Maybe you didn't have a custom profile set. I'm not sure what happened because there should have been no adjustments. Like, I literally run through a case pack show. I get a label per box. There should be no adjustments. Click the flat rate box I chose, which is always large, blah, blah, blah. Should be no adjustments. So we need to look into that because we don't want to waste your adjustments. You might need them. Yeah, let's sit down and go through your stuff so we can figure out how that's happening. Because you don't want to just throw them away because there may be a time or a show of different inventory that you're really going to need those and you don't want to be. And again, you just want to find out what's happening. Sometimes it's not you guys. Sometimes it's not us. Sometimes it is. Most of the time, we'll be real, it is. But sometimes it's whatnot. So, okay. Oh, Oregon, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you. All right, guys. So flipping back around. All right, guys. So I'll show you in a minute when we do the flat rate and when I bundle. When you bundle, it doesn't show you it's using adjustment, I don't believe anymore. But if you're going over on your box size or weight, I'll show you where it's going to show you. You'll see an amount there. Usually it'll say 0. And if there's an adjustment and it's covered by an adjustment, it'll show you. And I'll show you exactly here in a moment. KTS liquidation. Excuse me for saying this because I can't remember off the top of my head which one you do it from, but email them. Don't do a support ticket. You can actually email them, but you can only do it either, I think it's from your cell phone. I believe you have to email from your cell phone. It's either the cell phone or your computer, but you can only actually send a regular email from one. So try that. That's usually more helpful. Congratulations and welcome to Whatnot. No, I'm here for you, friend. Okay. Again, like I've told everybody here shortly when we jump onto the USPS website, I will be entering in some information there. There I will have my phone number. And I will pause for a second so you guys can screenshot. Okay? When you guys are done with your shows and you're like, crap, I can't remember what she said. Dang it, I can't remember, and I don't really want to watch that 5-hour video all over again to figure out where she says it, right? Because we've all been there. Text me, guys. Screenshot my number, send me a message. Hey, I'm, so-and-so. Let me know who you are from Whatnot, right? Because we're on all these different platforms. I feel like I'm talking sometimes to 5 different people because they have 5 different usernames and their real name. And really, I'm just talking to one person. But just message me. Sometimes, guys, it's truly as simple as, just click here. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, right? Because we're in our own heads sometimes. And we don't have 48 hours to wait for Whatnot to tell us that. And chances are the first answer isn't telling you that. So again, I offer that to any of my friends from class if you guys need that. I'm here for you guys. All right, guys. So I'm going to unbundle these really quick. Again, we're not going to unbundle. I'm technically bundling for you guys so you can see how that works. And so you guys will flip through. We'll actually choose that flat rate option and all the good things so you can see how it all works out. Okay, guys. So again, we're bundling. I'm clicking this box and I'm clicking this box. That's 6 pieces. Okay. I'm going to come over here And I'm going to click this top one. It says bundle selected shipments, and it has 2 in parentheses. Look it. It says, are you sure you want to bundle these 2 shipments into one single one? This is basically your warning that you're going to get charged for an adjustment. Okay, this is basically your adjustment warning. Hello, congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to confirm, yes, I want to put them all in one box. Okay, and do you see my line went away? It's gone. Now look, guys, I have her one order with now 6 items instead of 5. It gave me all the total weight from all the items, so now I'm at 90 ounces instead of 75, right? My box still says 12 by 12 by 12, but we're going to fix that, right? Still says I need a label. I sure do. My closet therapy, have you lost your mind, friend? Did you forget I said about self-care? Did you forget all of that? Did it fly right out your window? Totally kidding, guys. Totally kidding. You do you, friend. You do what makes you happy. Okay, guys. So now I'm going to come here and click the pencil. Boop. Okay. Now, remember, I said this all goes in a large flat rate box, right? So you're fine. So I clicked on flat rate. Boop. I'm going to pick my large flat rate box that I used. It generated my dimensions already for me, which is wonderful. Because I'm using that flat rate box, I won't have to put any dimensions in here. Now see here, if there was a label adjustment, aw, Kim, thank you so much. That is super sweet. That is like $10 now towards my iPad, guys. Just kidding. Well, not really, but, and I was, hold on one second. I saw Oregon asking me something about it earlier and I forgot. So, Oregon, you're going to want to make sure, you really want to make sure you go through the website, not the actual app, for your editing purposes. Okay, I missed your question. I know you asked something about. Do you have it Bluetooth? Yeah, well, friend, you know you call me. What are you thinking, you silly head? Well, we'll fix you up. We'll figure it out, one way or another. All right, guys, so if you guys were going to have an adjustment, it would tell you right here. There would be an amount, $3, $4, $5, whatever the difference was, okay? As long as that is up to the $9.21, it will be covered. Know that if you have an oversized box and the shipping, okay, I don't know if it'll change on me. Let me try this really quick. I haven't saved it, so I'm going to show you guys this. Say my box was really large, right? My weight was good, but my box was really large. That's really, really large, it says. Too large to even ship. All right, sorry guys, just playing with some dimensions here. Okay, so 45 by 22 by 15. 45 inches by 22 inches by 15. It says I've made one change and it's not covered by my free adjustments. Okay? It's not going to be covered under my free adjustments because it's too high. Okay? Now, let's say my box is back to a 12 by 12 by 12, for instance, but my weight is super high. Instead of 90 ounces, it's 280 ounces, say. $7.73. Not covered. Okay? And guys, hold on a second. That's really weird. I think it's not covered because I don't have any left, is why it's saying that. Let me go out a second, guys. Give me 1 sec. And I'm going to show you really quick, guys. So when you come back to your main shipment screen and you click on your sidebar, this is like a whole side note, we'll say. No pun intended. When this opens up, oh, I do still have to. So it's just because it's super high, it's not covering it. So I have 2 of my 5 adjustments left for this week. Okay, 2 of the 5. But guys, I do stuff in my shows because I know that I don't usually use my adjustments, right? So, for instance, in my last flat rate show, right, I did this huge reseller bag, right? So it's a jumbo bag, which is going to cost me an adjustment. And I filled it, okay? And it was okay. I didn't change the shipping, but I knew I had adjustments. Or what I did too this week is, if any of you guys were in here, when I ran the crossbodies as a giveaway instead of the sticker pack. I had a connection issue and everybody kind of still hung out. They were still in here with me when I came back, and I was like, you know what, guys, you guys are amazing. I'm going to give you a crossbody instead of stickers. I didn't change the weight on it. I shipped it. It just cost me an adjustment, which didn't cost me money, but got you guys a better giveaway, right? So at the end of the week, when I have adjustments left, I'll do things like that for my buyers. It's not costing me any extra money other than the better item, but it doesn't cost me any additional in shipping. It just takes one of my adjustments, and those are going to go away anyways. So I like to use them for things like that as well. Okay. All right. So 2 of 5 is what I have left. And then, guys, I know some people, and I don't know if any of you, just because we're talking label printers and stuff, if you guys don't know that down here, okay, right here where it says shipping labels, this stock, when it comes up, is usually 8.5 by 11. Okay, when you guys are switching over to your thermal printers and you hear everybody talking about the labels are small and they're sideways, you've probably seen messages in the chats and things out in those platforms talking about it. This is where you correct it. Okay, this is where it's corrected. So you change the 8.5 by 11 under your shipping labels to 4 by 6. Okay. So it generally starts out at 8.5 by 11, and you will change them to a 4 by 6. MLO adjustments happen. They restart every Sunday based off of your time zone. For me, it's right around 5 p.m. So it is at the end of the day, and it's a use them or lose them. So if you have a couple left, you won't keep them. You'll just have 5 again on that Sunday when they restart. Thrift Shop, there is an area when you guys are doing your shipments. Let's see here. I haven't had to do it in a while. Let me X off this. Okay. So when you guys are doing your shipments and you're editing, there are these spots. Remember earlier when we were talking about items with lithium-ion batteries, perfumes, and things like that that are hazardous material? You can click this on. Now, no, when you mark something hazardous material, it has to go in a ground box, right? Because it's going to drive on the ground, remember? And your label will say hazardous material, as it's supposed to. If you want to require a signature, you can here and you can toggle that on. It's going to cost you $367 because of the signature. If you want to add insurance, you can do the same here as well. Okay? and then you put what the shipment contains. Okay? Now, just know, guys, if you have an order lost in shipment somewhere like that, unfortunately, as much as we want to take care of our buyers, we do have to direct them back to Whatnot, because Whatnot is technically the purchaser of the shipping label, right? They're the ones that provide us the shipping labels. So they're the ones that have to claim the replacement funds for them. They'll refund the buyer or whatever, and then they'll deal with USPS for that. Oh, Lacey, that's super sweet. There's more of us, I promise. You probably just haven't come across them, but there are more. Also, guys, for our new friends in here, I did mention it in the beginning. November 9th, we're having a Better Together raid train hosted by Blasian Bunny, and it's all seller support chat. So just like a whole day of knowledge for you guys. And everybody's doing a different segment. I'll be doing AI thumbnails, and we're going to talk about branding and logos and those important things, but 20 minutes, so a quick snippet of it, right? So make sure you guys bookmark that. And again, it's a Better Together raid train, and it's hosted by Blasian Bunny. And then also, guys, because I know it's been a while since I've mentioned it and we have new friends in here, please make sure as people are coming in and out still, I know we've been on a while today, but that you guys are clicking on each other's usernames, still following each other, bookmarking each other's shows as people are coming in and out. And also, I haven't seen quite so much today. Make sure you're promoting yourselves in the chat, right? Let everybody know what you guys have coming up today, tomorrow, this week, next week with your shows, so we can go bookmark and we can support, okay? Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, so let's flip this camera around. Stop making you look at me again. So, again, I just wanted to show you some of those adjustments and how it would charge us and where you could see that, okay? But this box is going to go flat rate. I'm going to toggle that back on, and I'm going to select my large flat rate. And then I'm going to go down. Sometimes Whatnot's weird and things get stuck, so just clicking refresh sometimes will help get things going also, guys. Okay? Okay. So I save changes, right? I save changes. I have not generated my label. Remember, I said there's still a chance at double checking before you generate. Okay? So now I can come here and I can look. 90 ounces. Well, that didn't change because I used a flat rate box, so I didn't need to enter weight, so I don't really need to worry about that one. But look at my box no longer says 12 by 12 by 12. It actually says the dimension of the box that it's in. Solo, congratulations, friend. Go grab your lottery ticket today. You've got some good luck going on. And then remember I said generate from the line. Okay? Now over here, do you see how there's a generate here? Sometimes if you've clicked on the other line, it'll show generate, but it'll actually be somebody else's order. Okay? This one is the correct one. I know because we only have one order to ship on this entire screen at this point, right? But I always recommend generating from the line you're working on to prevent any mistakes, okay? So we're going to generate there. Okay. And my label is generating. Now look, guys, this here popped up, right? If you guys need to move the text, also, if you guys swipe to the left, I don't know, you know, your text on the screen will go away if you guys need to see without all the words and all this stuff, okay? So, if you look right here, now this is my label. If I click on this, look at this. It takes me right to the USPS website, okay? Now they haven't received it yet to show tracking, but that's the tracking information. It will take you right there. And it's moving slow. All right, but anyways, it does, guys. It'll pull up your tracking information. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then it says tracking not available because we just created it and it hasn't went anywhere yet. Okay, so again, remember how I said if you have to regenerate a label, say you messed up, you forgot an item in there, and now you have to put it in there and reweigh something or something like that. So again, make sure if you regenerate for any reason, that new label is printed and put on the box, especially when you're under your 1,000 sales, because that's how you get paid. Okay. All righty, guys. So we're there now. It didn't pop up. It came here at the bottom of my screen. Whoops. Okay, so now here's my label. Okay, it just popped up in my little program. I'm going to come right here. Now, if I scan, guys, right? Remember I said we could actually check our labels before we print them? So this is my packing slip with all the items. And right below that is my shipping label. Okay? And I can check it. Here's my P for priority, USPS priority mail. And I need to make sure, because I put this in a large flat rate box. Here we go. Large flat rate box. Okay? Let me click print. Again, if you guys are printing and you have multiple printers on your system, just make sure that it's on your right printer so you don't waste paper. Then click print. And just like that, I have a label. Just like that. Okay? Comes all attached. I'm taking my shipping label off the top, right? My packing slip is going to get my thank you sticker. Thank you for supporting my small business. Okay. It's going to get my little love note. So I just put my thank you sticker up there. I put a little note on the bottom, please be kind. I'm going to get my box. With my items. So I have my flat rate box, right? My items. My giveaway goes in there. My packing slip. And I'll usually tuck it nicely on the side so it doesn't get all crinkled. I close my box up. I seal my box just like I did on the bottom, one strip down the middle, overlapping on each side. Okay. We're solid, guys. We're solid. Right? Packing slip. Shipping label. Just throw it on the box, guys, and send it off on its way. Yeah? No. No. Don't mess with my OCD. Don't mess with my OCD, friends. Congratulations on that giveaway, friend. Congratulations. There's a box where the label goes. Right? And if you know me, kind of like sealing it with a kiss, a little bit of love, just another, without covering any information at all, just another little thank you sticker. Right? And we're done. That's done. So, who likes Christmas PJs in here? Anybody like Christmas PJs? Anybody? I'm going to grab one of my handy dandy cutters. Now, before I do this, I want to tell you guys a little trick. So I was good, and I remembered to put my packing slip in, right? So here's my tricks for you guys around this. One, either don't use the box, and until you get used to it, put the label sideways right here, so it's on the other side of the line, okay? So you need to slice through the box. You could, and slip the packing slip in. Better thought. The goal is to make sure they get it. Slice the bottom. And tuck your packing slip inside. Run one strip of tape back over it. Because, guys, we're human. It's going to happen in the beginning. It's going to happen. Guaranteed. 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 I still do it. Over 4,000 items sold, guys, and I still do it. We're human. All right, guys. So, a couple things here. Quickly, I'm going to get a giveaway going. Okay, quickly. We're going to get a giveaway. 33 giveaways today. Whew. It's been a day, guys. It has been a day. That's all right. Yes, and we're going there solo. We're heading there. That's actually funny. Are you reading my mind? I'm typing in. Look it. That's what I was bringing up behind you guys. All right, so quickly, before we go to USPS.com, guys, don't go anywhere because we're going to go to a birthday party together when we're done. You guys didn't know you were coming for shipping and party. Woohoo! It's a bonus. So, as every beginning business owner needs a business bag. Every business owner needs a business bag. If you're me, you need 10. It's okay. You're allowed. You're allowed to have 10. Guys, look at this bag. These bags are stunning. You've got your padded hand strap. You've got your leather handle. These are Levuc. They run, depending on the style, depending on the size, up to about $60 again, depending on which one you get. The long straps are removable, so if you just want to carry handles, you've got your pockets, guys. Inside pockets, you have your protectant for your laptop. You also get extra little backup bags for pencils, highlighters, staplers, whatever you want. Use it as a makeup bag. I don't care what you do with it. Guys, I'm going to run this bag for $1. $1. Any business person needs a business bag, and these are beautiful, guys. So part of our shipping class, you guys are going to be becoming business owners and starting these. So we're going to give you guys a deal. And this is one of the ways, guys, just one of the ways that I make a little bit of money to cover my time in doing the classes. So we're just going to run a few items, and then we're going over to UPS, and then we'll head out to our birthday party. I won't take up too much time, I promise. All right, guys, so we're going to set this one. All righty, guys, are you ready? It's brand new. You saw me just pull it out of the bag. It's running for $1. Get it, guys. Beautiful. Super, super nice. Brand new with your tags. Again, they go up to about the cost of about $69, depending on colors, sizes, and all the things. Running for $1. Levuc comes with your padded laptop area. Comes with all the little things for your pencils, all your stuff, pins. Comes with your extra little bag. Super, super amazing and brand new. Your long padded. Congratulations on your first purchase. Thank you so, so much. You got a great deal. It's a beautiful bag. We'll wrap it all back up. Very, very nice for you. And get it on the way. Okay? And because I have some friends in here that said they like Christmas pajamas, we'll run a couple pairs for $1. Why not? Says Christmas. This one, the package says mom, but the pajamas don't say mom. It's just for female. Comes with your cutie little pants with the Santas and reindeers. All right. You're going to get this set, and it's a women's size medium on this one. Women's size medium, and we're going to run this one for $1. Women's size medium. If anybody's interested, for $1. Grab it for $1 and resell it if you want. You're getting the set, the shirts, and the pants. Okay, no takers on that one. And then if you guys are interested in a particular size, I might have it. Let me know. If not, we'll just run a couple different random sizes for you guys, and then we'll move along. All right, guys, this one is a women's 2X. 2X in that same design with your pants. And they do have your elastic legs. Okay? They do have the elastic legs. Congratulations, Olga. Again, 2XL on this one, and we'll run it for $1. All right, 2XL going for $1. You're going to get the set brand new. I just took it out of the package. 2XL. Here's your shirt and your design on your pants. 2XL. Congratulations on your first purchase. All right, guys, if there's anybody else that's interested in Christmas pajamas and you're looking for a particular size, just let me know. Just let me know. And then I'm going to do you one more last dollar run before we head over to the USPS website. I'm also just allowing class to get first dibs on the Christmas. So, Lacey, sudden death is a mental game on people. Sudden death is great for chats that have a lot of people in them because there's no time extra added, right? So people just swipe, 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 swipe. Okay. Extra large friend, let me see what I got. So that's the whole thing with sudden death. It gets people in that whole bidding war thing, right? In the whole bidding war. Let me go really quick, friend, and grab you an extra large if I can find one quick. Of course, I got mediums, larges, 2X's. All right, guys, my apologies. We haven't went through this shipment yet, so I had to kind of dig. I couldn't find any, and I'm sure they're in there, any extra large for female, but what I found, that's funny, that's true. Some people are like that. But then some people are like me, that don't have very good luck. So I swear I cannot win on sudden death to save my life. All right, guys, so these are a men's large that would fit like a women's XL if you're interested. These are super cute too with the blue snowmen. So I'll run these if you're interested, just because. And then if you check back with our next show, we'll have gone through all of them and I'll make sure I have the sizes ready. But again, this is a men's large, so it'll fit like a women's extra large. Okay, if you guys are interested, and I'll run this one for $1. All right, guys, and that one's running for $1. Again, it's a men's large, but gonna fit like a women's extra large if anybody is interested. And you've got your little musical snowman. Super cute little snowman on there. All right, no takers on that one. All righty, guys. All right. Oregon, I noticed on my phone when I do it, it seems to keep restarting. But on the laptop, once we've set it, unless you have to go out and come back in, it stays on the laptop. But on my phone, I have to reset it each time. It's weird. So. But like if we want just a 15-second auction time, I can set it at 15 seconds on the laptop and it stays. But when Marie has to go out for some reason or it glitches or gets stuck, that happens. So. All right, guys, so I'm going to flip this around. We're going to hop on the USPS site. They've changed the little background. Super cute. So, guys, when you guys are looking for boxes, okay, when you guys are looking for boxes, you're going to go to shop because you're shopping. Shipping supplies. Okay. And here we go. All right, guys, while we're going through this, if you don't mind doing me a quick favor, just so we can build up a few more followers before we go raid out today, if you would mind sharing the stream out and throwing some emojis in the chat while I'm explaining this, that would be great help. And then we're going to go, we'll raid out when we're done to a birthday party. All right, guys. So these check envelopes and things, probably not. You're not going to fit a pound in these things. Same thing with flat rate padded envelopes. Remember, it has to be a pound. So some of these you may not want to get and mess with. It's probably not, it's just going to be a waste. You're going to wind up throwing them away and wasting the USPS supplies. But what you will definitely want to start getting is, depending on your inventory, if you have smaller, heavier items that a pound would fit in a small flat rate, you could get a small bundle and see if those will work for you. But you'll definitely want to get at least a bundle of 10 of the medium flat rates, the medium flat rate side loading, right? Because these are a little bit bigger. These are the ones that have the peel strips down the side that are self-sealing. I still run a piece of tape over them myself, but those are the medium side loading, and then you have your large flat rate box, okay? All of these other priority express mail, don't get any of those, guys. Those you cannot use, okay? You guys can order the free rolls of stickers if you guys are using brown boxes for your priority mail. You can stick some priority mail stickers on them just to make it look better if you would like. Don't have to, not required. Guys, don't purchase any of their Ready Post items. They're charging you $35 for 24 little envelopes. So very, very expensive. You don't want to buy anything from them. Okay, just get the free stuff. And guys, they'll deliver it to your house for free. So no need to go to the post office, load your car up with all this stuff, right? No need. You can just order it and have them deliver it to your door for free. And also the nice thing is, guys, is that what's online, you actually have more of a selection than what your local USPS carries. Most of them only carry like a good variety of flat rates, but you don't have all the selection of regular priority. Okay. So again, you'll want to get some, like, these are just medium side loading, medium box, shipping box, not flat rate this time, right? So those are good to have for those anything between 1 and 5 pounds. There's a medium, oh, sorry, that one's a flat rate, but there are medium, regular medium priority boxes, right? Not flat rate. Okay, so we'll press the arrow. Didn't like me to go to page 3. There's different sizes for mailing tubes. There's all kinds of stuff, guys. These are the large boxes. So if you notice, the large priority boxes are actually a little bigger than the large flat rate, because the large flat rate boxes are 6 inches tall, where these are 8.5 inches tall. So again, tape guns are very expensive. I wouldn't get any of that. Just the free stuff, guys. This is a free small box for priority. But again, remember, priority has to be 1 to 5 pounds. So it's got to be able to, it has to be heavy enough to put in these smaller ones. Okay. So those are all the items, and you guys can go through. I think there's another last page here. So just some things, and they have a medium cube shaped box, which is kind of cool for some things as well. So again, maybe just get yourselves a small packet of each, just a small package of each. And then after you figure out what sizes are going to work better for you, then you can go back and order like more of each size that you're going to really be using. Okay. All right, guys. So sending. Okay. Schedule a pickup. My stuff, for some reason, since I took this and taught class at Great Wolf Lodge for you guys, my info is no longer saved anymore, but that's all right. Congratulations to that giveaway winner. Sorry, guys, the screen's so far away I can't see. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Slide it up a little bit better so you guys can get a clear shot. If you guys want to screenshot that so you guys can zoom it up later, that is my number. So if you guys have questions, you guys get stuck, let me know who you are. Send me a message. I don't just answer calls that I don't know, so always send me a message first, guys. But happy to help you guys if you guys get stuck, okay? So again, information and okay. So we're going to check availability. Always when I've checked, as long as I'm doing it before midnight, they have always had the next day available. Okay. Again, as long as I'm doing it before midnight. Alrighty. All right, guys. Okay. So it says, is there a dog at this address? I do, but my dogs are in my backyard. I put my stuff on my front porch. They're not where my dogs are. Okay. Then location on my front porch. It says at mailbox, back door, mail room. It says knock on the door, ring the doorbell, reception area, or there's other, and you can add additional instructions if you need to. Okay. But mine are always at my front door. Some people will add instructions. Please make sure to scan sheet, things like that. I don't do that. My mail carrier is great. She actually will scan each package on my door before she takes it out. So that's wonderful. Okay, so at the front door, Now, if you need to specify your own time and date, it's $26.50. If they pick up when they're doing your regular mail delivery, then it's free. Okay, so we're going to choose free. Like I said, next day is always available as long as I'm doing it before midnight. I'm going to pick that. Solo. So for any guys, any ground advantage, you're going to be using a brown box of your own. Or like a poly mailer of your own. Okay? No USPS packaging at all with ground. None. But any poly mailer, any brown box, anything, recycled boxes, Amazon boxes are okay. But a box or poly mailer of your own for ground. Okay, good question. Alrighty, so I picked the third. Now, guys, this is always a guesstimate for me. I don't always know how many packages I'm going to exactly have ready by the time she arrives. She's never complained. When I've put in that I've had 200 packages, I got you, Olga. I got your message, friend. When I've put that I had 200 packages, like last year at Christmas time when we were doing our toys, they didn't send me a USPS big semi truck. So it doesn't matter. They still sent my normal mail carrier. And when she didn't have enough room, she drove around, continued to deliver packages in my housing community, and then came back and collected as many packages as she could from me. Okay? So always just do an estimate. If you guys do have those hazmat packages, it's fine. Just mark that you do and you've complied with the standards. That's all. Okay? If not, then you check the box. They don't. Sometimes mine do. Sometimes they don't, depending on what I'm selling. Okay? And then schedule your pickup. Boop. And just like that, guys, my mail carrier will be at my door tomorrow. Solo, no. Unfortunately, no. I know. I saw the big debacle. I was kind of talking to a friend in the middle of that debacle. Those Ground Advantage envelopes, if any of you guys have seen them, it was mentioned in a group out there. Those are only for Poshmark. Okay? Those are only a thing that Poshmark has set up with USPS. And if you question, well, that's not fair. Why? How you know that is if you were to go onto the public website, if it was something that was offered to the public, it would have been something we could have ordered right there. But it's not. It's something that's just purely for Poshmark. I have a friend that she sells on both apps too. And she said the same thing. I'm just going to make sure I use this for Posh. I won't put my whatnot stuff in this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, those, I know, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they showed that envelope. So many people are going to be confused. They're going to be looking for that envelope. And if somebody happens to find some and use them, right, it's going to be a problem. So, just a thought, guys. Yeah, don't use those. Alrighty, guys. 20 seconds left on this giveaway. Do me a favor. Share the stream. Emojis in the chat. Promote your show. Okay? I'm going to run one more quick giveaway after this one ends. We're not going to run it through the whole thing. Okay? We're not going to run it through the whole thing. I'm going to pull it. We'll do a 5-second countdown and I'll pull it. Just while these are going out, while we're gaining a few more people, we're going to go to someone's birthday celebration. Cardina's party of 5. Congratulations, friends. Congratulations. That one's going to you. We are going to run giveaway number 36 for the day, guys. Giveaway number 36 for the day. Okay? Absolutely, Solo. Decorate away with your pretty poly mailers like these, guys. Actually, that's what I was looking for before I pulled out that funky little bubble one. But yeah, any of these pretty little things, right? And guys, because I don't think I mentioned it today, but quickly, poly mailer treated just like a box. 10 by 13 by whatever the thickest point is. 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, right? Just like a box. Okay? So, you're very welcome. Alrighty, guys. So, we're going to a birthday party. I hope you guys came dressed to impress. right? I hope you guys came dressed to impress. We're going to head out. When we go, guys, when we go, let's put party emojis. It's a birthday party. We got to celebrate when we get there, right? Party emojis in the chat, guys. Share that stream. All the free stuff. Please, please, please. But I'm going to ask a dollar tip. It's a birthday. It's a birthday party. We didn't bring gifts. We got to bring dollars, okay? We got to come with dollars. I'm going to tip more than $1, but I just ask $1 of you guys, okay? It's a birthday celebration. We're going to go. Also, guys, this person does provide reseller case packs and pallets and things. So if you guys are new and need sourcing, it is an option for sourcing. I wanted to hit a small seller, but I got to hit him because it's his birthday. I got to do it because it's his birthday, right? All right, guys, so I'm going to do a 5-second countdown on this last givey. Emojis in the chat, guys, and we're going to go party. All right? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Who's going to take this last one? Congratulations, Olga. Congratulations, friend. All right, guys. Party emojis when we get there. Share that stream. Now, if you guys don't know how to tip, just because I know some of you guys are new, on the side of your screen, you might have a boost button. If you click on that, there's an option to tip or promote the show. Okay, either is fine, whatever you guys choose. Both are beneficial. Promoting somebody's show when their community boost gets activated, it's super amazing. Or if you guys don't have the boost option on the side, if you click the username at the top, okay, when we get in there, you can click the username at the top. You'll have a drop down and tipping will be an option there too. So just in case you guys don't know, you know how to do that when we get there. All right, guys, are we ready? Are we ready? All right, you guys have an amazing day. All right. Tomorrow we do have thumbnail class and show setup, so come back and see us then. And other than that, guys, take care. We're going to go have some fun. We're going to go have some fun. Have a great night, guys. Again, give me some time to reply to all your messages. I'll do all the approvals, follow backs, and stuff while I'm eating when we're done. And then I will catch up with our messages. All right, guys? Have a wonderful, wonderful night, guys. And please, please, please don't forget to just be kind. Be kind. That's it. Let's go party at Regulators, guys. Party over at Regulators. Happy birthday. Here we come.
Oh my God.